Very close, huh? But yeah, it's okay one, the OBS. Nobody is there. Oh, one person. Very close, huh? One person is there too. But yeah, it's okay one, the OBS. Mute it, huh? Nobody is there. Oh, one person. Very close, huh? One person. All right. Is there too. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, the sound is coming. Mute it, huh? Nobody is there. All right, we'll go on. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshudan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Dadati Swaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Shadvitam Shavadutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaganvitam Shyam He Krishna Garuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchna Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavanu Stuta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namarom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome to our Tuesday online classes. We are very happy to be here with you. Do you have any verse if you want to ask for? You probably can write on the comment and then I can see it. So alright, since there is no body who wants to have any particular verse, then we will speak on this one, 640, Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Partha Naiveha Namutra Vinasastasya Vidyate Nahe Kalyana Kritkashit Durgatim Tata Gachyati. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Partha, O son of Pita, na eva, never is it so, iha, in this world, na, never, amutra, in the next life, vinasaha, destruction, tasya, his, vidyate, exists, na, never, hey, certainly, kalyanakrit, one who has engaged in auspicious activity, kashchit, anyone, durgatim, to degradation, tata, my friend, gacchati, goes. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activity does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, Sri Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva as follows. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam pujyam hare bhajan appo hota patet tato yadi yatra kwa abvabatram abut amushyakim to varta apto vajatam sudharmataha. If someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything. For material prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. A transcendentality is supposed to give up all material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life. Krishna consciousness. One may argue that by Krishna consciousness one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if it does not attain such perfectional stage, then he loses, both materially and spiritually. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duty. Therefore, one who fails to discharge transcendental activities properly becomes subject to this reaction. The Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalists that there need be no worry. Even though he may be subject to the reaction for not perfectly executing prescribed duties, he is still not a loser, because auspicious Krishna consciousness is never forgotten, and ones who engage will continue to be so, even if he is low-born in the next life. On the other hand, one who simply follows strictly the prescribed duties need not necessarily attain auspicious result if he is lacking in Krishna consciousness. The purport may be understood as follows. Humanity may be divided into two sections, namely the regulated and the non-regulated. Those who engage simply in bestial sense gratification without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation belong to the non-regulated section, and those who follow the principles of prescribed duties in the scriptures are classified among the regulated section. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. Their activities are never auspicious because while enjoying the animal propensities of eating, sleeping, defending and mating, they perpetually remain in material existence, which is always miserable. On the other hand, those who are regulated by scriptural injunctions and who thus raise gradually to Krishna consciousness certainly progress in life. Those who are following the path of auspiciousness can be divided into three sections, namely the follower of scriptural rule and regulation for enjoying material prosperity, those who are trying to find ultimate liberation from material existence, and three, those who are devotees in Krishna consciousness. Those who are following the rules and regulations of scripture for material happiness may be further divided into two classes, those who are fruity workers and those who desire no fruit for sense gratification. Those who have the fruity result for sense gratification may be elevated to the highest end of the life, even to the higher planet. But still, because they are not free from material existence, they are not following the truly auspicious path. The only auspicious activity are those which lead one to liberation. Any activity which is not aimed at ultimate self-realization or liberation from material bodily concept of life is not at all auspicious. Activity in Krishna consciousness is the only auspicious activity. Anyone who voluntarily accepts all bodily discomfort for the sake of making progress in the path of Krishna consciousness can be called a perfect transcendentalist under severe austerity. And because the Eightfold Yoga system is directed to the ultimate realization of Krishna consciousness, such practice is also auspicious. And no one who is trying his best in this method need fear degradation. So back to the verse again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pita, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activity does not meet with distraction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So this is a very important point, because many of them who come to Krishna consciousness, they very much shudder at the thought of becoming a full-time devotee. Actually, they think that when you become a full-time devotee, and what happens in the line, you suddenly give up the practice and then you leave the Krishna conscious movement, and when you go to the material world, you become very much, what we say, uh, you will be struck with poverty because you cannot find a living, you may have no education, and what not. This is our form of our usual accusation for people who are trying to become a full-time devotee, trying to serve Krishna consciousness. They very much fear this. This is actually the question asked by Arjuna. If you see, Arjuna asked the same question. Here Arjuna is asking this question. Oh, Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later deceased due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism?" See, this is the same question. If you become a devotee, then you give up, for some reason, then what happens to you? This question is, you know, so here Arjuna is further saying, question, does he not, O mighty arm Arjuna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a ribbon cloud with no position in any sphere? So this is the fear. That this is actually what everybody is fearing. If I come to spiritual life, then my material life, if I have to go back, what happened to me? Then I am neither here, neither there. This is not only the point in the mind of, common man today. This question was already raised 5,000 years ago by Arjuna. See? So, again, you can see what Krishna is saying. And you see, another important point is that Arjuna is asking this question to the most important person. Now, this point, everyone can give their views. I can say something, you can say something, anyone can say something, because everybody is speculated, have their weird ideas. But here, this is my doubt, oh Krishna, I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Because who knows where the soul is going to go, where birth is going to take, what position is going to get. This is all not in the hands of any common man, for the matter. This is only in the hands of the Lord. Karmanam Deviga Netrena. This is under the divine control of the Lord. If somebody wants to go to the heavenly planet, or someone is promoted to demoted to the hellish planet, or someone is taken to birth again as a human being, or in any of the species of life, this is all predetermined by Krishna, because He is the controller. Madhyakshana pakirti susajate characharanam hetunena kauntaya jagad viparivartate. In the Bhagavad Gita, I think it is 9:10, I think. See here in this verse, Krishna says, I am the controller. Maya adhyakshena, it's under my jurisdiction. The material nature, which is one of my energies, working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under his rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So we have to understand that the supreme controller who manages all this is Krishna. That nobody else is doing this job except Krishna. Under Krishna's authority, everything is happening. I think we have shown many times this verse. You can see here Krishna is the supreme controller of every living entity. 9, 10, 30. Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter. 1039, sorry, 1039. In this verse you see here, Ya cha api sarva bhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or non-moving, can exist without me. So this thing has to be very much understood, that Krishna is the supreme controller. And anyone goes to Krishna cannot suffer any loss, because who can suffer loss by going to God? There's no philosophy that supports that. If you go to God and become penniless, or become distraught, or become lose out, or become a loser, no. Anyone who goes to God, Krishna, is a winner. As Krishna says, in the last verse of the Gita, I'm sure you have heard spoken many times. Anyone who can keep Krishna and Arjuna in the heart, then he has got all victory, all opulence, everything. How can a person who has such a thing, see here, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Partha Yatra Partha Dhanudaraha Tatrasya Vijaya Buddhi Durva Niti Matir Mama. So here Krishna explaining, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystery, wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That's my opinion. So how can anyone lose out when you go to God, Krishna? This is a myth. So someone, especially among the South Indians, a very popular thing that if you worship Krishna, he will take away all your wealth and he'll make you, downtrodden and whatnot. So they have all these speculated ideas. But Krishna is, in fact it says that if you go to Krishna, I think it's in chapter 2, Nehi karma nastosti. You see here in chapter 2, text 40, Nehi bikrama nasosti pratyavayo navidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahoto bhaya. You see that? Here, in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this part can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. A little advancement, he says, Krishna says here, the word is, you see, swalpam api. This word swalpam means, swalpam means little. A little thing you do saves you from the greatest danger. Now what to speak about the little, what is the most little thing you can do? You just say one name of Krishna. That's the most little you can do. You just say Krishna, just one word. You do not know how much you have gained. It protects you from the greatest danger. It clears you from sinful reaction. It is so powerful. What to speak about every day doing? How much more you will benefit? This is unimaginable by common standard. People do not know these things. Everybody think that the only way I can get out of my headache is simply go and stand on the Toto booth or something. You understand? They do not know how a little endeavor, on this can help us in so many ways. Nahe angopakrame dvamso madharmasyo udhavaniyapi maya vyavastita samyan nirguna tvat anasisaha. This is another important point. My dear Uddhava, because I have personally established this process of devotional service unto me is transcendental and free from any material motivation. Certainly a devotee never suffers even the slightest loss by adopting this process. See how very powerful this is. Even, he says here, never even suffer even the slightest loss Now I just explained, Nehi Vikrama, even a slight activity gives you saves you from the greatest danger. And not only that, you won't even suffer any loss. You're gaining little bit you put, you get so much in return. And here, not only that, there's no loss. There's not even a slightest loss. So how much, you are getting by connecting yourself to Krishna. In fact, if anyone is intelligent, he should do this immediately. He should do this immediately. He should not be delaying this process of trying to become a devotee of Krishna. Because if you get connected, in fact, immediately, there's so much gain is there. So much gain is there. That's why it says by Prahlad Maharaj, that one should get connected immediately. Sri Prahlad Uvacha Kaumaram Acharatragya Dharmam Bhagavatamiha Durlama Manusya Janma Tarapya Durum Artadam. Prahlad Maharaj says, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form or body from the very beginning of life, immediately. In other words, from the tender age of child to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere service can give one complete perfection. See, now you repeated by Prahlad Maharaj again. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. You know what I'm saying? So this process, it is very, very, what do you say? In fact, Krishna also said further that anyone who takes this path, even, if he runs blindly, I think it's in 11:2 something. See, even you run blindly with your eyes closed, you will never, 11:2, 11:2:35. See here, he says here, even if you run with your eyes closed, O King, O King, one who accepts this process, the devotional service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will never blunder on his path, in this world, even while running with eyes closed. He will never trip or fall. So how much more Krishna is giving us, you know what I'm saying? Assurance. Krishna is saying assurance. So you slight, I've already explained, a little endeavor saves you so much gain. And then what else? Then a little bit effort here, you don't even have any loss. This one now, even you run with eyes closed, you never trip and fall. How much, it's a win-win situation by coming to Krishna consciousness. There's no inauspiciousness. Badram te, badram te, badram te. There's only auspiciousness. You know what I'm saying? In fact, everybody is fearing death. Actually, that is one of the biggest fear. Is it not? Everybody is frightened of death. Is it not? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I shall describe you to the principle of devotion to me by executing which a mortal human being will conquer unconquerable death. So, how much we are gaining by becoming Krishna consciousness? Even if you want material benefits. You see, there is a verse that the non-devotees, they have to work very hard. I think in 8:5:47 is it? 8:5:47. Yes. Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth for their sense gratification. But for that purpose, they must work very hard. Yet, even though they work very hard, The results are not satisfying. Indeed, sometimes their work results only in frustration. But devotees who have dedicated life to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial result without working very hard. This result exceeds the devotee's expectation. Huh? How much? You are given so much of facility, so much of, and not only that, Krishna also, promises here, for one who has dedicated his life to me, I think it's 9:4, 60 something. 65, I think. Huh? Let me check. 65. Let's see. Yes. Since pure devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time? Huh? So, how can there be any inauspiciousness for a devotee? That is a myth. Even Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, if you don't make it, you see, not in the Gita, he also said here also, that for a devotee, everything is possible, everything is given. Yes. Everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, jnana, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duty, and all other means of perfecting life, easily achieved by my devotee through loving service to me. If somehow or other my devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or residence in my abode, or he easily achieves such benediction. So now we are trying to understand that Krishna consciousness is not a cheap program. It is a program, it is a sure win program. All we have to do is surrender to Krishna through the help of our spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master. Practice these basic things that is given us, like chanting 16 rounds, waking up in the morning, hearing the Bhagavad, associating with devotees. And these are the basic things that he has asked us to do. And we just have to do this, and surely we will go home back to God. We will not even suffer the slightest loss. As we have, in this today's verse, there's a verse quoted by, Srila Prabhupada in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In that purport, you can see 1:5:17. This is the verse Prabhupada quoted. For one who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature state. Yet there is no danger of him being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. See, so spiritual life is the sure gain process. And not only that, if you practice this, you also develop, as you are practicing, you also develop all the good qualities of the demigods. It says, you develop saintly qualities. Huh? You develop what? Saintly qualities. It's explained here. Many times we have seen this verse. Huh? All the demigods and the exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, now become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even is adept in the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor maintaining his family and relative, he must be driven his own mental speculation, must engage in the service of the Lord. External energy, how can there be any good quality in such a man? You see that? Now I'm explaining. You gain so much by doing little bit. You don't suffer even a slight loss. Huh? Yes? And you are, even what you want, Krishna give you immediately. Heavenly planet, spiritual world, all Krishna gives. Huh? And then you don't have to work so hard for money. Huh? You don't have to work so hard for money. Krishna gives easily for the devotee. Huh? And then for one who has dedicated life, how can Krishna forsake him? And now here Krishna is saying he developed also good qualities. See how much Krishna consciousness is so beneficial. Therefore, only a fool will not take up the process. Only those who are foolish, a gross fool, will not become a devotee of Krishna. That's the bottom line. Even though as is, if he if he doesn't make it, he goes to the heavenly planet. In heavenly planet, he finishes his enjoyment period. He come back here. He take birth in very, devotee family, or he takes birth in some rich mercantile family, where he is again given a chance to carry on where he left off. I mean, it's not like material life. Material life, if you start, then when you come back again, you have to start again learning all the whole thing again, and all is finished. Everything is defeated. Everything is a failure. Material life. Material life is explained. It is a failure. Huh? Material life, everything is a failure. A purified soul should see that because the conditioned soul who are dedicated to sense gratification, who falsely accept the objects of sense pleasures, through all of their endeavors are doomed to fail. You understand? It's a failure. Material life, even how successful you are, you may be the biggest, richest man, you may be also the most beautiful man, whatever it is you may. But again, next life you must start again. You do not know what birth you're going to take on top of that, where you're going to take birth, what you're going to do. It is, it is very, 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 dangerous thing. Material life is danger at every step. Padam, padam, vipadam means danger at every step. But a spiritual path is a sure win process. All we have to do is open our mouth and chant Hare Krishna. That is all. Everything else becomes, what we say, adjusted. Even though we may be very sinful, even if we chant Krishna's name, then crores and crores of sin that we have committed, even millions and millions of lives previously, or even in millions and millions of lives we yet to even do, are all wiped out by this one name of Krishna. Yeah, how potent Krishna consciousness is. Krishna consciousness is definitely a process that we cannot, what we say, forgo. And this is the problem. All the problem is not that we have an economic problem, or we have got this, food problem, or this mating problem, or what problem. Our real problem is that we now have forgotten to take up this devotional process. And that is the problem. As long as we do not revive our Krishna consciousness, then we have to carry on suffering in this material world. This is not our place. We don't belong here. You see here, it is explained here, this is not our home. You cannot make it our permanent home. Huh? It is not our home. Those who are less intelligent accept the Vedic ritualistic ceremony as all in all. They do not know the purpose of the Vedas is to understand one's own home, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead lives. Not being interested in their real home, their illusion and search after other homes. But this is not our place. That's why Krishna said this place is full of dukhalyam and ashashvatam. He says in chapter 8, this is why he says, because this is not our abode. This is not our place. In the Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure you have known, this place is not our place. He says here, Dukha alyam ashashvatam, Dukha alyam and ashashvatam. This is not our place. Nobody wants to be miserable. It's not our place. Our place is the spiritual world where we belong to serve Krishna. You follow? Huh? And we are all like, it says here, another verse. Uh, Give me a minute. I think it's in the 11:17. Yes, 53. This is what it is. We often speak about this example, but the verse is here. You can see the association of children, wives, relatives, and friends is just like a brief meeting of travelers. With each change of body, one is separated from all such associates, such as one loses the objects one possesses in a dream when the dream is over. This is exactly what it is. We are now putting so much faith in this family, in this so-called, you know. Uh, but what is it all about? Uh, it's only misery. It's only miseries. This is where we are. We have just been illusion thinking that this is our real thing. But it's not a fact. Uh, what is the use of the material body, which is automatically leaves its owner at the end of life? Uh, can this body be permanent? Nobody's body is permanent. We are thinking that this is permanent, but day by day we can see it's giving problems. And what is the use of all of one's family members? What is the use? Who are actually plunderers taking away money? Yeah, that's a fact. You don't bring in the money, you're going to have a lot of problems. Right? Uh, that is that is useful for the service of the Lord in spiritual opulence. They all are taking away your money for their sense gratification, which is rightfully to be used in the Lord's service. A little service, little giving, it saves you from greater danger. And what is the use of a wife? She is only source of increasing material condition. Now, whole spiritual life is meant for reducing the material condition. But the wife is only there to increase your material condition. And material condition means what? Huh? What is the use of the family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely wastes the valuable energy of one's lifetime. That's all it is. This is written, this is spoken by Bali Maharaj after the Lord arrested him and tied him up. What is the use of my big kingdom and all is finished? Huh? Actually, even Lord Brahma says the same point. He says this. Lord Brahma also said the same thing. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desire remain thieves, their homes remain prison, and their affectionate feeling for their family members remain foot shackles. So try to understand that you have a very auspicious star, have this human body. You have, all facilities. All you have to do is plug in. Do not say you have to give up this or give up that. No. You simply stay in your situation and become Krishna consciousness. That's all. You just have to invest even a little time you do. You can start by chanting Krishna's name. The mala is there. At least start your day auspiciously by doing at least one mala for the start. Eventually, you see, you will get the taste and desire to do more, of course. But to start, it will become so beneficial for you. You become happy, and you will be a safeguard from all kind of miseries. You get protection. You don't suffer loss. You know what I'm saying? And you go home back to the spiritual world. This is definitely a sure win program. Do not waste your time getting illusioned by Maya. Maya is very clever in tricking you. The mind has got a very natural attraction to this mind. It says here, our mind very much addicted to, going to this Maya. He gets attracted and he starts thinking that this all are very important. Simply my material birth, human beings become attached within their minds to personal sense gratification, long duration life, sense activities, bodily strength, sexual potency, and friends, family. Their mind are thus absorbed in that which defeat their actual self-interest. We should try definitely not to go in this direction. We should now bring our mind back. It may wander into all this nonsense, but we should bring him back to Krishna consciousness. Then you see, our life will become very, very successful. And all these other material things that we are glamoring about, we are going to what our karma in our previous life we are already destined is destined. We cannot change that. But by being Krishna consciousness, not only we can change our karma, we can also get a secure, what we say, security to going back to Krishna. And in some or other we don't make it also, Krishna gives us full backing to help us. Like a child, he falls down, then he stands up and tries, and finally one day he starts walking. So that is how Krishna consciousness is all about. Because it is very easily done if you keep association of devotees. This is a very, very important thing. That's why Prabhupada set up temples and all over the world. Without the help of devotees, then alone you are trying, it will become very difficult because, this program associating, because if you say alone, you cannot stay alone. You have to either be with your mind or you have to be with the non-devotees. And the non-devotees association is very detrimental because their influence will work on your mind, and this way we will all become very much victimized by the, again, material desires. Because the material desires are very, 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 very powerful. They can very easily drag away our mind. And so much so we again become, pawns in the hands of Maya. So we have to learn how to associate with devotees. By associating with them, we'll get the strength. That is very important, as we have many times explained this point. One should learn to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying as devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. So please start today as soon as possible. Chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You will see how much you are saved from so many difficulties, problems, so many nonsense. Alright, so I don't know if you have any question. I'm going to try to end here. You have a question? You can write it down there on the webinar. I can probably see it. Alright, since none of you got any questions, okay, then I'm going to end my class here since none of you have questions. Thank you very much for joining us on live today. Hare Krishna.